Mic check, mic check. One of Masters Podcast. The host name, of course. First and foremost, I want to thank all the supporters, the listeners, anybody who shared the podcast, new fans of the podcast, old fans of the podcast, new supporters, old supporters, everybody who pour into me weekly, daily, monthly, with messages and phone calls and comments, just all interaction and engagement surrounding the podcast and some of the content I put out. Definitely appreciate it. Doesn't go unnoticed. And I always try to start everything off I'm doing with thanking you guys, because without you guys it wouldn't be possible. So definitely clap it up for y'all. Another thinking out loud. I just dropped one yesterday. Meant to drop it earlier in the week. Had a really busy week. One thing I like about what's going on for me with Modern Masters and just content creation in general is it's been, I feel like more people are starting to be familiar with the content, be familiar with me as a creator, be familiar with Modern Masters and what it means to the city of Augusta. And I've been, creating new networking partnerships. I don't like saying friendships, networking partnerships, doing things with the schools, older content that I'm re-putting out, and it's doing better than the first time I put it out. So it's also shedding light on older things I've been doing years ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago, and I like that for me. But this year has been a year of like super growth, amazing relationship building, and I like that for me. I like that for people that believe in me as well. So I want to start out by saying that I can't start the podcast off, can't start this thinking out loud off without thanking and shouting out my oldest daughter, Brooke Bradley. Shout out to her, man. Clap it up for her. Top of her class, perfect attendance, student of the month, first month of the school year. Just amazing student, amazing daughter, amazing person. I try to post her as least as possible because she's too beautiful, and she's just older now. So people are weird, so I try not to post her too much. But definitely not hiding her or not like proud of her, like super proud. Every day I wake up, I'm proud of her. She does so much, super mature, just a beautiful and altogether just amazing woman, lady turned into a woman. So shout out to Brooke. Also, I want to shout out my youngest daughter. Clap it up for Bailey. All right. Man, that's the one that wants the attention. Okay. She told me personally, hey, Daddy, make sure you tell them. Okay. Daddy, make sure you tell them. So she won Student of the Month for October. So definitely, I'm proud of you. Love you. And you continue to be smart, be amazing, be inquisitive, ask questions, be polite, be studious. Be beautiful, be charismatic. She's all these things, super, super smart. I don't compare the two a lot, but one thing about Brooke that's probably different than Bailey is Brooke is very much in the books, like book smart. Like that's her thing. Books, reading, very intelligent. And it's not that Bailey's not, but Bailey is very socially smart. Like she is super smart socially, like knowing what certain kind of conversations mean, pauses, how to read the room, how to read the conversation, knowing her timing of like comedic timing is funny. Like she's an all around like social kind of kid, at least right now. And I like that. They night and day, no pun intended. One is light skin, one is brown, but they night and day. One is aggressive, one is like laid back, one is like extra, one is like not enough. Like as far as like feeling and saying things. So I love that. I love that for me. Love that for them. Love my daughters. Can't do it without them. Some of my proudest moments are just fatherhood moments that I really can't show off, but this is my doing that. So definitely clap it up for my daughters first and foremost. So I wanted to start with that because Bailey told me to make sure I tell y'all, so I had to tell y'all because Bailey, she's the boss. But so I've done a lot of things this week, man. Shout out to me for getting another episode with the DA, Jared Williams, which is great. I feel like he came and explained a lot of good things. I want to touch on that for a second before I just skip over it. But I definitely did some things with Cross Creek. Shout out to Miss Lucky and her team over there. What's the Tea and Teaching? I think that's a great podcast, great concept. We shot an episode with their principal, Dr. Durham, former Josie coach. You might know him from teaching at Josie, teaching at Laney. Super smart, dope individual, great leader. they team to 11 over there across creek. So shout out to him. That was an amazing experience. But getting back to Jared Williams, what I liked about that is like, you interview the DA, and it's so much different tactics of media. I was talking to Kim Macon, shout out to Kim, and he mentioned like, ambush media, and that's not something I do. You got some people that do that. They'll sit you down, tell you what they're gonna talk about, and next thing you know, you talking about something that you didn't agree to. I don't do that. I'm not gonna sit there and surprise you. Everything I ask you is based off what you say. My goal is never to shame anybody. It's never to paint anybody in a bad light. The picture I paint when I'm interviewing somebody is solely based on what they say and who they are in conjunction with what they say. So if you are who you say you are, I say this all the time. If you are who you say you are, you can have an amazing podcast. If you're not, you may be iffy about it. I don't know. You may not really like it too much. That's up to you. But if you are who you say you are, you'll have an amazing podcast. I also did an episode with a young lady named Destiny Love. She's an artist. And I watched her story recently. And one thing about doing More Than a Masters podcast is you gotta, it's nothing to her, but you gotta make sure that you're okay with telling your story. Because on here we tell stories about each other, about our lives, about ourselves. Sorry, not each other, about ourselves. So people can paint a picture of you. When you come back the second time, we could touch base on different topics and do Q&A and interview based or subject based matters. But for the most part, when I'm introducing someone to Augusta or just my platform, you're going to tell your story. Her story is super amazing. It's her truth. The thing about telling your truth is that other people may not like it because you already accepted that this is the truth. This is what happened. This is how I feel about it. This is my rendition of this story. And in your story, some people may not be good guys, may not be great characters, may not be great at all in your story. They're not going to like it. So you got to be okay with telling your story. And as she told her story, it was a lot of family internal issues and characters that she may have didn't like, characteristic traits that she didn't like, coming up. And I think that that has caused her backlash. It seems so. I didn't put a lot of clips out. I'm doing that on purpose because when I take my break and stuff, I want to be able to put clips out so y'all don't know I'm taking a break. So I didn't put a lot of clips out, but I thought that was interesting watching her story about the podcast. But I feel like, a lot of times we have to really sit back and think to ourselves. I watched something the other day and it said, you got how somebody feel about a situation and then what actually happened. And I said, damn, ain't that the truth? And I don't know if this is anything with her, but just me speaking now, like just in general. A lot of time people talk about a situation and we talk about it from how we feel about what someone did. So if I didn't like what you did, I'm speaking on it from a standpoint of how I feel about what you did versus maybe what actually happened. Case in point, I may feel like you ignored me. I may feel like you weren't there for me but I was there for you. I may feel that way. But what actually happened is, you actually had a lot going on. You had a mom in the hospital. Your phone was dead. I don't know. Like you didn't have no Wi-Fi, no signal. It's so many things that actually happened versus what we feel. And I think sometimes we got to sit back and really make sure we paint that picture the correct way when we're dealing with people. I also want to say this though, because this is the real thing I want to get into. That's all well and dandy and it's fine and stuff, but in my opinion, that's fine if it happened once, maybe twice, to say this is what actually happened. That's just how you feel about it. I think you gotta be. I'm one of the people like you gotta be mindful of, but you gotta be mindful of people who say things like, "Well, you can feel how you want to feel about it," because your feeling is very very valid. It's very valid. They just can't change that feeling, and maybe they're gonna do it again. I say that to say this. We have friendships or friends or people we deal with or we pour into, we look out for, we do things with, do things for, we show up for. And a lot of times those same people aren't the people that do that for us. and that would make that relationship not reciprocative. Like you're not, it's not a reciprocating relationship, and we have that a lot. And I think we grow upset at ourselves, and sometimes it come off as if we're upset with them. So I know for me, like people be forgetful. You might be forgetful. Okay, cool. So you might feel like I'm upset because you're forgetful. And I'm not even upset with you. I'm upset with me because I'm accepting the fact that you're quote unquote forgetful, whatever the case may be. But you can't be forgetful if I notice you're doing other things. So my thing is like, we have these excuses for certain situations, but not realizing that people are looking at you in totality. So yeah, me and you have a situation. You forgot to do this. Okay, cool. But how you didn't forget to do other 10 things for that day? How you didn't forget to do this to this person? How you didn't forget this with that person? And I'm not even comparing, saying like you should do it for me because you did it for them or this or him or her or she. It's not about that. It's the fact that I watch you a lot. I've studied some of your movements. I've studied some of the things you do, your decision making. So I don't think you forgot. I think you made a decision to not fall through what you said you was going to do. And that be the problem. But somebody will tell you, hey, feel how you want to feel, man. I'm telling you, I forgot, da da da. I can't prove you forgot. It's no proof button for, hey, did he forget? Did she forget? It's no proof button for that. People say things just to just to get over on you, but I think we gotta do a better job as people is to draw that line in the sand with people like, hey yo, this is the line you're not gonna cross. Like, and so a, a lot of times you'll be there for a person and they won't be there for you. And I want to stay on that for a second. You ever it's crazy. You ever like hit somebody up? You ever hit somebody up and maybe they take a minute to respond, whatever the case may be, or they finally respond cool. You think you're having some kind of dialogue, but then they take a minute to respond again, and a minute to respond again. And it's like it's taking so long that you can't even get to what you want to get to because that conversation is taking a long time. And this might be over a course of time, months, weeks, years, who knows. And the person to tell you like they're busy, this happened, I ran into that, man, I laid down, I did this. They give you all these excuses, and you accept them, but they give you all these excuses. And then I would challenge anybody, a person like that. I want to grade them on when they want something from you or when they need something from you, and then look at how quickly they respond. And that be my problem with people. It's not the fact that you a bad texter or you don't communicate well or you forgetful. It ain't. That's not the problem for me. The problem with me is like you only do it when you don't want nothing or when you don't need nothing. So then I can't even say that's like a character trait. That's a habit to me. A habit is like you have a habit of ignoring or putting a person off to the side or putting someone's time off to the side when it don't benefit you. But when you need something, it's like you respond super quick. Somebody ever ask for money and you're like, okay, how much? Boom. This they tell you how much you need. When you need to buy, boom, tell you when you need to buy. All right, where you gonna be at? Boom. Send your location. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I come to you. Hey, look, niggas will come to you now, right? Like I come to you because they need something from you, right? They want something from you. And then you might ask that person, what you doing? Hours go by. Yo, what's going on, man? I'm just checking on you. Hours go by. Call them. No answer. Text you back hours later. You meant to call me. Didn't I fucking call you? Like, yes. Nigga, I meant to call you, bro. Like, yes. You got to be mindful of people like that. Like, I think people are naturally, everybody's naturally selfish. Me, myself included. The people I'm talking about right now, I've been probably that person to somebody else. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not. I don't mind sitting here saying like, yes, I've been a person as well where if it benefited me, I might have moved quickly. However, once I noticed that was a thing, like on my own, I'm like, damn, that's messed up. Then I don't do that. Now I'll text everybody back slow. I'm texting everybody back slow. It don't matter to me. Like I don't care if you got $500 for me, $0 for me. I have to get to you kind of when I get to you, only because I'm busy now. Like I'm a busy man. It's not really an excuse. It's just the truth. And I try to get back to everybody as much as I can. I'd rather talk on the phone sometimes than text because I can't text that many people all day and then I start getting busy and I'm start editing, start podcasting, start doing this. Who got the time? Being a dad, who got the time? Any ever been full-time parents? I mean, I ain't getting into that. But yeah, so I said to say, you got to be mindful of people like that, man. People will be available and respond quickly, call you back you can't even get rid of them up when they need something from you, or when they want something from you, or when they're in need. Not saying they need you, but like they in a jam. And think about the people that be in a jam, right? And that you'll when I say drop and do everything for a person, I'm talking about like not like you're not busy and you do something for them. I'm talking about you at work and you like, I'll leave work, I'll come to you, I'll do whatever our case may be. I'm talking about you doing something important. You gotta maybe stop that for a second. I'm talking about you gotta stop doing what you're doing for a second just to get whatever done for the person that's in the jam. Think about the people you do that for. And then ask yourself, would they do that for me? Do they do that for me? Do they respond? I'm like I said, I'm good at not responding. So like some of the stuff I'm saying, I might be that person to somebody. I don't know. But I also feel like there's different ways where a relationship can be um full of reciprocity. And it's like I might not respond to you all the time, but when I'm around you, I'm giving you a mad game, or I'm putting you in position to do well, or I'm putting you with people that's gonna put you in position to do well. We have a meaningful conversation when we do talk. You don't feel like a burden to me when we do talk, when we do meet up, hang out, whatever the case may be. Um, and I'm doing things for you, and I can help you further whatever you're trying to do in life, or whatever opportunities you're trying to conquer. That's what I mean. So for some people, I'm not. I might not talk to them every day, but if you need X, Y, Z, you got a direct contact to me. We can do that. You know where I'm at. You can pull up my house. You can do certain things. So that's what I mean when I'm saying these things. But you got to think about people from that perspective. And when you do, you really realize like as people, we definitely overexert ourselves a lot. We overexert ourselves a lot and then get mad at those people because we chose to overexert ourselves. Only thing I'll say about that is some people are selfish, so they'll I don't say let you because letting somebody is crazy. We all adults. They'll be okay with you overexerting yourself, knowing they don't plan on, they won't, and never will uh, reciprocate that same level of overexerting. They know that they're not going to do that at all. Like not even a little bit. Like they're not going to do even any kind of exert. Not over, not under. They don't care. They allow you to. They'll let you do that, and they'll take it. They'll take. But they're never going to give. Never going to give. Never going to give. People are selfish. Some people are just selfish. Like I have the thing where I ask people a lot, like, are you selfish? What do you think? Are you selfish? And some of the most selfish people's response to that question is, do you think I'm selfish? And as I studied the people that I may know that I think is selfish and I ask those questions to, and they all did say that, I'm like, that is crazy. Cause I feel like a lot of times when you ask a question to a question, you know the answer. You know the answer. You're just not gonna say it. You don't want to give that satisfaction. Even that's selfish. People so selfish, they don't even give the satisfaction of answering the question of are you selfish? Make it make sense, man. Well, actually, it does make sense because they selfish. So, but yeah, you gotta really watch out for people that are selfish, that take from you, don't give, don't pour into you. Um, that's important, man. Watch out for people that got time for everything, but to respond to you. That's important. I feel like you should take that situation if you have it with people and really let that place you where you are in their life, as far as priority wise, friendship wise, um, relationship wise, and really tell yourself like, okay, well, look, I don't come first, second, third, fourth, fifth, eighth. I'm last actually. I'm a thought. Oh, damn, you did call me. Shit, I forgot. You that person, and then move accordingly. Understand you're that person, and then move accordingly. Um, but yeah, I think over time as I've grown, I never thought about it that much until you start to realize, like you start to really, sometimes you got to sit back with a situation and think like, okay, is it them or is it me? Right? Is it that they're selfish or am I just blind or both? And I always tell people, you got to be consistent. It's, I don't, we don't talk about that enough, about how that's a great character trait. Consistency. I don't even mind a person being selfish if they're selfish consistently. Like, don't be picking and choosing being selfish because shit, if you are, don't pick me to be selfish. Pick somebody else. Don't pick me, nigga. But just the level of consistency. If you consistently like forgetful, cool. That's if you are forgetful consistently, I can respect it. If you are a person who responds to people late and don't text back fast or text back at all or text back in a timely manner, call back in a timely manner, communicate well, consistently, I can respect that. It's hard to respect that when I look at things and I say, that can't be because you're also this. And so I know for me, I don't like men. I'm not gay. So like I like women, right? But I've noticed in my life, if I ever dealt with a woman who quote unquote had communication issues, well, most of my life I dealt with women that had kids because that's just what I like. But um, you got a woman who's a mother, a good mother too. Like it's not like she's a bad mom; she's a good mom. I don't feel like you could be a good mom and have communication issues, in my opinion. Because how you talking to your kid's school teacher? How you talking to your kid's doctor or your kid's the clinic, whatever with your kid's daycare? Like there's things you have to do. As a mom, as a mother, as a good mom, as a good parent, that will require you to have good communication skills. And so, unless I'm wrong about somebody being a good mom, I don't think that person could tell me they're not good at communicating. I just don't think so. I feel like you good at communicating, you good at planning, you good at remembering, like you good at all these things because shit, you a good mom in my book. Now I could be wrong. You could not be a good mom, and I'm like, damn, I'm wrong. Well, I'm human, so I've been wrong before. No problem. I could be wrong. I just don't see that, and so I'm the person like I try to look at things in totality. So you could tell me, oh, I communicate. I'm just not good at communication. We got to get that. I think people. It's not that they're not good at communication. People aren't good at communication with certain people because they don't want to communicate with them. that's just the fact. It's not you're not good at communicating. You're great at it actually. You are superb at communicating. You just not good at communicating with this particular person for whatever reason that is. And I think if more people was upstanding and like uh, honest about that kind of stuff, the world would be a better place, man. The world would be a better place. That's just my opinion, though. I think when you're dealing with people, relationship wise, talking about now, this is like relationship, like you dealing with them, like romantically, whatever the case may be. I think you have more of those problems then because you always like, what if, what if, what if. I'm not the relationship guru at all, but I think what if is also a sign sometimes, like asking what if too much. I also think that I know for myself, I can't speak for anybody else. For myself, I found that it's important for me to know not everybody. Let me make sure I say this right. I don't care if somebody might have slept with. That's not what I care about. I don't want your damn whole facts or whatever. But it's important to me to know who you've dealt with as far as like who you talk to, who you spent a lot of time with. I don't care about the sexual part as much as I care about. I want to know if I'm really your type because it's no way you dealt with a corny person or an ugly person and then think I'm your type. Like it's just there's just no way. So I need to know that sometimes. Like, and I think I had at one point in my life had to do a better job of asking that question. Luckily, I've been good for the most part. A few hiccups here and there, but nothing too crazy. But I feel like that's important. Like, I need to know like what's your type, what you like, because I can tell you if I'm gonna be your type. If you like people that's like soft and you can walk over them and tell them what to do, I ain't gonna be. I'm the furthest from your type. Run from me. I'm a red flag. I got green on right now, but I'm a red flag. Run if that's your type. If your type is a lazy person who don't come through and is not dependable, run from me. I'm far from your type. Run. Just leave me alone. Run from me. I'm far from your type. If your type is somebody who don't hold you accountable and don't hold you up to a high standard and want the best for you and going to push you, run. I'm not your type. I'm not your type. Now, if you want somebody who don't care about you, depending on who you are, might be your type. But I'm not gonna be a type either. I'm just a person like that ain't me. So I have to know the type of people, men whatever. And I think it's important for anybody to know the type of person a person they are considering to deal with has dealt with to know if that's your type. Like if you know you like ugly, nappy headed, don't wash, dirty niggas, I'm not your type. I'm very clean. I don't think I'm ugly. My hair is the one what's left of it is nice. I'm just not gonna be your type. I think it's nice, but I know that as well. Like, I'm not your type. So I think that that's important too. Like, I think we got to get back to like being selective and being okay with you a pretty woman and you a handsome man. We both look good, but we ain't gonna work for each other. I like suckers. I like guys I can walk over. Dirty guys, cornballs. I like my guys to be super, super corny, ugly, medium ugly, like, like sixes, fives type of thing. Seven with a haircut. Those are guys I like. This way I know like, oh, seven is crazy. Me back up. You know what I'm saying? That I know that. And vice versa. Some guys like, hood rat girls, they want loud mouth, they want project chicks. They don't want a wholesome woman. They don't want a woman who got her own. They don't want a woman who is pretty. They also want a mild, a 5'6". They want low self-esteem women. You got a high self-esteem, you're not his type. Keep walking. It's a red flag. Just how our game go. Like I don't make the rules. I don't make the colors. But I ain't gonna spend too much time on that, man. That's just a thought process I be having. That's a lot of conversation to have with multiple people, but I do feel like that's something that's important. We keep talking about, want to know somebody past, want to know somebody past, not for controlling purposes. I want to know your past because I want to know if the people you normally like is what I'm used to. Because if not, I want to know why you like me for real now. Like what we got in common. Like what you see in me. You like this kind of person, or as a woman, you should want to know, hey, what you see in me. You like this kind of woman. What you like about me? I think we gotta ask those kind of questions. That's me. I think I'm in with because I ain't gonna be here long because it's just me just putting it out. I want to end with I, I think I have a problem with like me being in media. I have different takes on how people uh do their media, and I don't like. For me, I'll speak on myself. For me, right? I am I don't mind if somebody was to say I was a square. I'll be whatever shape you want me to be, long as you putting it at. I take care of my kids. I'm not in and out of jail. I never been. I'm a college graduate, and my family can depend on me. And I'm a man, a leader. Like long as that means all those things, I'll be whatever shape you want me to be. I don't really care. I'm not gonna look at it as like a negative thing as long as you include those things. Now, if I'm a square just because I don't drink or smoke, then that's I don't care either. But just add the other stuff in there. That's just my opinion. Um, I will say that to say this though. I think we gotta make sure that we have the right people doing media on the right things. There's this thing where like media wants to give out news and report on like a lot of street activities and street ideologies and street um cases. And I don't be in agreement to that. I got a few reasons why, but I'm gonna save them for when I go live with somebody. But I know for one, I don't think anybody should be covering any kind of topics considering any gang violence or gang activity. From what I do know, let me be a square. I don't care. I'll be the biggest square in the world as long as you put those things in there. Good dad, not in and out of jail, making money, not broke. Ladies love him, daughters love him. Just add that in there. But anyway, I'll be a square. But I first of all, I feel like, from my understanding, if you're not in a certain gang or set, so it's a gang, then you get the sets of that same gang. If you're not in that set, you aren't supposed to talk about anything that goes on within that set unless you're in that set. And so when I see some media reporting on news and having details and saying, I got information from XYZ, I'm like, how is that possible if you are not in a gang? You're not in that set. So that's the first thing. But that's beside the point. It's a lot of things that I think we as civilians aren't going to understand about jail culture, gang culture, street culture, crime culture, drug dealing culture, whatever. We're not going to understand it because we're not in it. Like a guy that don't work and don't have a 9 to 5 don't understand how. What do you mean you couldn't take a break right now? Like, nigga, I'm at work. I can't take a break right now. My break ain't till 2:30. He don't understand that. He like 2:30, nigga. Just go now. That's the life he lived. So he don't understand my life. Just like I ain't gonna understand a gang member life. I had a told story the day today. I was like, I had a friend when I was young, and he was like, yo, I love my daughter, but nothing come before the gang. I didn't understand it at the time. I was 13 at the time. I didn't understand it then. I understand it today. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. There's some people who are so engulfed and that are so active and so dedicated to gang life or their gang or whatever the case may be, that don't nothing come before it. Nothing at all. It's like it's this and then it's everything else. I don't understand it because I don't live that lifestyle. And when I'm saying that, I'm saying it's a lot of people like me that don't understand it because they don't live that lifestyle. I posted on Facebook the other day, I said, saying I don't know how I will respond to that because I've never been in that kind of situation is a good response. And I think it's a great response. It's okay to say, I'm not going to speak on that because I don't know nothing about it. I'm not going to speak on that because I can't speak from a standpoint of being in those shoes. I'm not going to speak on that because I don't know the ins and outs or the politics within that subgenre, whether it be gang culture, street culture, whatever culture. I ain't going to speak on this because I've never been in a situation. I mean, you got people that's speaking on whether or not somebody is a snitch or a rat. Real quick, before I get into that, if you're a civilian, in my opinion, somebody can say, hey, man, F your opinion. That's cool. In my opinion, if you're a civilian, you should never be calling somebody that is not a civilian a rat. In my opinion, that term is for people who are in that lifestyle because it's a derogative term. And it usually, or supposed to, somebody's going to like be upset when you call them that and they're going to want to retaliate. A civilian and whoever in their lifestyle is not the same. They don't have the same rules and same morals and codes. So as a civilian, you should be saying, if you're going to talk about it, but you shouldn't, but if you have to talk about it, which I don't understand why you would, but if you have to talk about it, you should be saying, he told, he cooperated. Those are the only two terms you should really be using, even tattletale. But rat is crazy from a civilian. So if you're calling yourself a civilian, but you're using the term rat, I would question whether you're a civilian or not and what lifestyle you really living. Because I would never call another man a rat, ever. Because whether they're a rat or not, I don't know what lifestyle they're living. And if they are a rat, what that got to do with me? Let's say they are a rat. Now what? Okay, I said it. Yo, Day-Day, you a rat. Now what? Like, where we go from here? I pulled the paperwork. You a rat. Where we going from here? Like what? Like, what's the end goal? I said it. Now what? Am I supposed to do something about it? Because I don't understand why. And that's the thing about the media. I think as media, and I see this on YouTube a lot. Locally, I see it too, but YouTube a lot. But I see it locally a lot. But YouTube, locally, you see people behind in a secluded area, in the camera, talking about you a rat. In a secluded area, on the camera, talking about you a rat. It's crazy to me because it's like, if you want to impress me or impress some kind of media or make some kind of stamp, then in my opinion, if you really want to get my opinion on it, you go set up in a neighborhood of the person who you're talking about. You set up there, you get your camera, your phone, whatever you do, get your paperwork you're gonna read, whatever, and you say it there, and then that'll impress me. But in media, you don't have to do that. We have to choose whether we be media, we want to be rappers, we want to be tough guys, we want to be civilians, Like, I don't think people know what they want to do. They wake up every day and they want popularity, they want attention. They know that for sure, but they don't know what else they want to do. One day they're a civilian, the next day they're not a civilian. And I say not a civilian because if you say the word rat, you're not a civilian to me. No woman, no man should be calling anybody a rat if you're a civilian. That is not the term you use. It's cooperating and you told on somebody. But also, I would ask yourself this question: how is that affecting you? There's no reason for me to come on camera. There's no reason for me to blast somebody for telling if it don't affect me. And I think we all learned that the hard way. 'Cause I've learned that. I've covered some stuff with media and telling and stuff like that, and it didn't have nothing to do with me. So I really shouldn't have cared. Granted, I'm gonna handle whatever handle come my way, which might be different in some media form because I don't feel like I'm not accessible for people. I feel like I'm very accessible if you want to know who I am or call me. Or never had a problem doing. Nobody could say they couldn't find me or couldn't get in contact with me. But there's some media where like they're talking about things and you're never going to see them. They're talking about things and they 1,000 miles away. And so my thing with media in general is we have to like draw that line where it's like that's not media no more. Now, ex gang members or something like that, and that's what they want to do. I'm all for that. If you're an ex gang member and you want to do that, that's between you and that whatever that entity is. But as far as like just your average person, your civilian, we shouldn't be using the term rat ever. Never. And if we're talking about it, and you should, if the person they told on is your brother or family member or something like that, it makes sense. It might be affecting you. I can understand that. Your loved one, I can understand that. Just somebody you knew, it's not enough. But regardless of the fact, we talk about these things, and I just don't think that's good media. I think media, we got to draw a line on what we could talk about, what's facts, what's fiction, and how much of ourselves are we pouring into that. Like I'm good with saying, in my opinion, if I'm just stating my opinion, meaning like I'm not saying you have to think that. This is what I think. And that's the problem with like, I love the independent media. I love being independent. I love the independency of the world. Now you can have your own media platform if you want to. You can wake up one day, as long as you got Wi-Fi on the phone, have media platform. I love that for reasons like you don't have to go to some big business and get some amazing degree or get some super, super crazy costly training. I love that. But I hate it for those same reasons. Because technically speaking, niggas need the training. People need to know what's media and what's you just talking too much on camera. People need to know what's really reporting in journalism versus you spreading your personal opinion and spreading your feelings online and defaming somebody's character. Like, it's the difference between all of that stuff. And for the same reasons I love this independent media space, I hate it at the same time because a lot of people have a voice. Not that they should have a voice, but they're using their voice for the wrong reason because they don't have the research. They don't have the knowledge to say, I shouldn't be talking about this. Or if I'm going to talk about something, I got to do it the right way. Doing it the right way, to me, you talking about street stuff, have a street person on so they can back up what you're saying and say, hey, you can't say that. Like, this way so you're not like breaking rules or causing drama or stirring up stuff. That's just me. Like, you gotta have a sense of media that cares. You gotta care about how your words may affect somebody else. I can't get on camera and just be like, granted, for instance, I may not like the mayor. Actually, if I didn't, I can't just get on there and saying, man, the mayor, he trash. Da, da, da. I wouldn't just say that. That's not good media. That's me bashing somebody and me putting my likeness and my influence out there, and now people might feel the same way. I gotta do it in a way which it's conducive to how I do media, fair. But once again, I think if you're not living that lifestyle, you're not gonna understand that lifestyle. So some stuff is hard. Some stuff you saying people told or see people did this, and then you speaking on gang culture or whatever the case may be, and you might have your ins and outs. I don't know, but it's just not. That's not how it's supposed to go. You won't see, somebody from CNN or the Channel 12, your news station, after going down, or not even going down, in the news station telling you, well, They said this person shot this person. They'll say they read the report. You won't see them say, but he ain't really like that. He ain't cut like that anyway. So I don't know why he would be out there. You'll never hear a news reporter say that. That ain't their job. Their job is to report the news. So even if you're all gonna be in media and reporting the news, you gotta do it in a certain way. We can't be out here just saying anything. And I feel like that's what's ever be happening. But like once again, when you have lack of knowledge and you have easy access to cameras and influence and number statin and all these other things, everything except getting that knowledge and learning how to do the thing the proper way. That's what you get sometimes though. So I ain't mad at it. I just don't like that for media purposes because that shouldn't be in the space. As media, we civilians. If you're not a civilian in media, that's cool too. But I think it'll be known. But once you're a civilian, using terms like rat or snitch, that's not our lane. That ain't our lane. Um, and I think a lot of times people we try to everybody I know, not everybody I know, but a lot of people I know always want to like try to sell themselves as like they had this like crazy past, so it gives them like an okay to talk about street stuff. It's not to say they're lying, but I be wanting to like define crazy, like define like man, I done did it all. Well, define did it all. Like I don't feel like you selling 40 bags of weed is enough for you to tell me like you could talk about street stuff. You did when you was 16, you stopped when you was 16 and a half for whatever reason or whatever. That's not enough to me, or you had, 10 fights in this neighborhood. Everybody had 10 fights. Everybody done fought. We be boys. Like we gonna fight over dumb stuff, a chair, a girl, ego, whatever. Everybody gonna fight here, whatever. People don't be doing enough to really be like they was 2 feet in. So now I got the right to talk about it. If you was 2 feet in and you did your time and you took your nicks and your bruises, whatever, I can't tell you what to do because I ain't lived that life. I don't know how I feel to be 2 feet in the streets. I know how I feel to be 2 feet in fatherhood. I know how I feel to be 2 feet as a brother, 2 feet as a son, 2 feet. 2 feet. I've been 2 feet in as far as staying out of jail. I can tell you that. I'm 2 feet in there, man. Look, hey, you hear that? I'm 2 feet in that motherfucker. I ain't nothing in jail. Once they told me that, wasn't no women in there, I knew it was not a place I needed to go. I don't know where my peers messed up at, but I know everybody make mistakes, so I ain't tripping. I ain't judging them. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I don't know how I feel to be 2 feet in the streets and all like that. And I'm not gonna act like I do. Everybody got their stories. Everybody got their stories, man. Like, and I'm tired of hearing these fake war stories, but that's another story for another day. Everybody got their stories. I get it. And I think they sprinkle their stories here and there. And like, so look, I did this so I could talk about this. I did this so you were right. I did this. It's not how it worked. Like, you can't. And I've seen that all across YouTube. People always saying like, they're trying to tell you a story and this, that, and third. The stories I got, I'm going to tell you, it's not me. It's all third party. And I don't feel like I need to be extra tough to tell you a story or I need to be tough to do my media. I'm fine with being whatever shape somebody want me to be. Circle, square, triangle, hexagon. Don't matter to me. I'm telling you. As long as you put in whatever shape you give me, just make sure you list my credentials. And then let's make sure that, that's listed on the outside of that shape. I don't care. Square, circle, don't bother me. But yeah, that's all I got, man. I don't want to spend too much time, man. I like to get up here and talk, touch people, man. I do hope people do a good job with media. I hope people just understand that, a lot of us take media seriously too. So especially and you can find in a certain area, and you got a voice. So we gotta make sure that if you had a voice, I'm never gonna sit here and say you shouldn't have a voice. I just think people misuse it. Sometimes you're supposed to be quiet. That's your tune, is to shut the hell up. Sometimes. I know niggas don't like to hear that, but sometimes, your instrument is just being quiet. You're supposed to just like, that's your instrument sometimes. Like your job ain't to talk, ain't to lead, ain't to be forefront runner of this campaign. It's not to say this, expose that. Sometimes not your job, bro. Your job might be to go ahead and take care of your mom. Your job might be to go take care of your kids. Emphasis on take care of your kids. That might be your job. Everybody's job ain't to cover this. Everybody's job ain't to go live and talk about that. Everybody's job ain't to post this and post that. That's some people have a calling for that. They are called to do that. They've been called to do that. They've been summoned by powers greater than you to do that. And you got some people who ain't been called to do that, but they doing it. They in a way. But again, I feel like use your voice correctly. If you in the know and you can talk about gang stuff or that street stuff, use your voice in a way where you're not glorifying it, and you also teaching lessons. Like if you're going to cover street stuff in the media and not be street, make sure that there's a lesson in everything you're doing, so that kids that are following, that you are reaching, are getting that from that. You know, shaming somebody for being a rat, instead of you shaming them for being a rat, just talk about the decision they could have made. You can also talk about, the fact that they told, whatever it can be, but make sure that that lesson plan there, or however you word that up, however you piece that together, it's a lesson there saying, hey, look, this is why the streets ain't for everybody. That's all I'm asking. Like, I think we shun people for making decisions best for themselves. Another thing, real quick, before I get, that's my last thing for with this Helen thing. I don't think people should. I'm gonna sound bad. I definitely don't think, and this is me growing up now. This is me like getting older. I don't think people should be able to talk about if someone told on somebody and not cooperate. I'm saying cooperate and told because I don't use the snitch word anymore. I'm not a street guy. I don't think nobody should be able to talk about whether somebody told or cooperated, or what they would do in a situation, if they never, ever, 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 ever been in a situation. And I don't mean you got stopped at the store because you stole some candy. I don't mean you got stopped in school because you had a fight. I don't mean you got stopped on a corner because you was vandalizing something. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you go in a room with a detective, whether it's on your own, you turn yourself in, or whether it's forcefully, they come get you. You wake up one morning, 4 a.m, because they done raided the house. Boom, come and got you. You don't know what you sleep. You dead sleep. You don't know why you in this room. They get you in the room for 22 hours, 2 hours, whatever. You cold, no socks, whatever the case may be. They come in and you in that room now. And they start asking you questions. And within them asking you questions while you're in that room, you don't know if you ever coming home again. You went to sleep thinking, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, I'm gonna do that tomorrow, I'm gonna do this the next day, might rob that nigga, who knows, da 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 da. You went to sleep thinking that. You woke up in an interrogation office for a murder or accessory to crime or attempted murder, whatever the case may be, that hold these football number years. And within that conference of you talking or whatever the case may be, you don't know if you ever coming home. If you ain't been in that kind of situation, I don't think you should speak on certain things. I know for me, I ain't never been in that situation. And I don't know why people want to lie. People like to lie and act like they've been in situations. I don't understand why. Like, it's perfectly fine to not have been talked to about murder. It's perfectly fine to not have been in an interrogation room about a crime. It's okay. Now, you could be 2 feet into being a good citizen or being a good civilian. Like, it's perfectly fine. I don't know why people want to like act like they had these kind of situations. You should not want to have these situations, in my opinion. Anyway, I feel like if you ain't been through that, then you shouldn't be talking about what somebody else did or what you would have did or what the street code is, whatever. 'Cause I can tell you right now, as a civilian, 'cause I don't know about the street code at all, as a civilian, people are selfish. Civilians, street guys, drug dealers, gangbangers, murderers, killers, rapists, whatever. People are selfish all across the board. If they can look out and do what's best for them, there's a high chance they're gonna do that. If that means telling on somebody, cooperating, or whatever the case may be, I can't give you a percentage, but majority of people, including you watching, yes, you, are going to go ahead and take care of themselves. I'm going to tell you that right now. Y'all can believe that high and mighty, tough guy, gorilla stuff if y'all want to. Majority of people, when facing those kind of situations and they have a chance to save themselves, they are going to choose themselves. Whether that's selfish or just smart, human being thinking, I don't know. It's up for y'all to decide. But I'm telling you right now, a lot of people, myself included, have never experienced one day just being in a room and in this small room getting interrogated by 1, 2, 3, whatever detectives that already know what you done did. And it's a big crime, murder or attempted murder, whatever it may be, a shooting. They already know what you did. They got statements already what you did. You don't know this. You don't know what they got. You know you did it though, but you don't know what they got. And they in that room questioning you. And you don't know if the last time you hugged your mom, you kissed your child, you ate some Chinese food, you had sex with a woman, whatever the case may be, the last thing you did, whatever, you don't know if that's the last time you're going to ever do that in this room, depending on how you operate, how you answer questions, or whatever you do. And you don't know that. That's pressure. And a lot of us ain't never been through that. So when we speak on people making these decisions in life, not saying I'm okay with it or not saying it's cool to do, because to each his own, but when we speak on people making decisions in life, I think we have to think about the fact that we ain't never been in them shoes before. What's up, bro? One Masters Podcast, we out, man.